I am gaining weight after I reached my weight loss goal of 190. I started off at 233 at the beginning of this year. I got all the way to 190 within 10 to 11 weeks. And now the scale is creeping up. And I gotta tell you, it's pretty frustrating. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with who I am, my name is Tim Ernst. I'm an intermittent keto fasting coach who lost 70 pounds all the way back in 2018, about 7 years ago. And I kept it off for a good couple years, but then 2020 happened. I put that weight back on, not all of it, but a majority of it. And I kind of just stayed stuck for 4 years and I couldn't get back on the horse. So this year, I decided I'm getting back into my best shape. I started January 2nd. We're now here in April, but in about 10 to 12 weeks, I lost 43 pounds, okay? And I've also coached hundreds of men from all over the world to lose at least 40 pounds in 16 weeks using my Keto Shed 40 program. If you want more info on that, I'll go ahead and put a link into the description of this video that will take you to another YouTube video that will kind of explain a little bit about what I do and how I can potentially help you. Now, so what is going on? I got to give you guys a little bit of an update. I just turned 49 last week. I got sent home with a cheesecake. I've been trying to eat it every couple days. I finally finished my last piece today, which is Friday. Now, by the time you see this video, it'll be Sunday, but today is Friday for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a 48-hour fast to kind of get this scale to go back down again. And here's what I can blame it on. I blame it on 3 C's, okay? I blame it on the cheesecake, chips, and chocolate. Yeah, guys, I've been kind of cheating a little bit. And I want to talk to you about this because this is something that happens to a lot of people. There's 2 types of people that I find really struggle with their weight loss. The first person I would consider to be like the secret craver. You know, they're the ones that really want to lose weight, but they're kind of struggling because they still deal with cravings and they're reaching for things to satisfy a need. Okay, look, there's only 3 reasons why people eat bad, okay? They're eating out of stress, they're eating out of comfort, or they're eating out of boredom. It's one of those 3, or maybe it's all 3, right? Some people have an emotional attachment to food, so they feel better when they eat something sweet or something that satisfies them. But then they realize that that's not in alignment with their weight loss goals. So they're kind of secretly self-sabotaging, all right? Now, the second type of person, I actually might fall into this category, guys. I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. I set out to lose 40 pounds by the time I reached 49 years old, okay? That's considered a goal. I set out a goal to reach a certain amount of weight by a certain amount of time, okay? And I'm starting to think goals aren't the best way to go about losing weight or anything in life that matter. I'm kind of going against setting goals, guys. You know why? You should be more focused on making this a lifestyle than making this a goal. And I think that's what's kind of happened to me. And I think this has happened to others. In fact, I want you to comment below, which type of person are you? Are you type 1 or are you type 2? Are you kind of the type 1 who secretly has an emotional need and you kind of crave, so you satisfy yourself with some type of sweets or your favorite food or whatever it is? Or are you type 2 like me, where you're setting out a goal, so when you get to that goal, you can pretty much just maintain and just eat what you want? Well, I think I'm probably falling into the category of type 2. I think I'm the type 2. I was so focused on the goal. I went hardcore, guys, and you know that. I started with a 5-day fast this year, dropped 15 pounds. I did the carnivore diet for 60 days. Then I did the alternate day egg fast. I started fasting on the weekends. I mean, I've been going pretty hardcore. I mean, in order to lose 43 pounds in 10 to 11 weeks, you gotta be hardcore. And I know it's kind of weird, I'm walking around my house. It's just been too windy outside. You guys wouldn't even be able to hear me. So I'm kind of just taking a stroll inside my house, trying to get my steps in. Anyway, listen, I'm getting to the point where setting goals is a waste of time. It's a waste of time, because what happens when you get to the goal? What happens, right? you got to learn to enjoy the journey. And I realized looking back on all that stuff I did, the fasting, the carnivore, the alternate day fasting, the alternate day egg fast, all that stuff was really, really exciting. But now that I got to the goal, guess what happened? I got comfortable. And I'm letting things slip away, okay? So yes, it's only 4 pounds. It's probably water weight and glycogen. Maybe I've gained maybe 1 pound of fat, okay? Not a big deal. However, I wanted to create this video because I think many people fall into one of these two categories. You're either type 1, you're secretly hiding and you're like, maybe you're somewhat of like a closet eater over here, okay? Because you're trying to fill some emotional need, okay? Or you're type 2 like me where you're so dedicated. You're working so hard toward that goal, but then once you reach that goal, you're finding yourself getting too comfortable. And this is why people tend to gain the weight back, and then they find themselves in January making another New Year's resolution, and they're going hard again. They get to their goal because they were so focused on that goal that they got comfortable. They were too relaxed, start missing workouts, which I don't do, by the way. I don't miss workouts. That's like the easy part for me. The hard part is what am I eating, okay? 1 cheat meal becomes 2 cheat meals. Then it becomes 3. And now you're on an all-out binge. Those old bad habits have all set back in again. And now you're right back where you were. All that hard work, all that sacrifice, and here you are, gotta do it all over again. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna nip this in the bud right away, because if I let this slip away too far, I don't know if I want to go through all that energy and all that fasting and carnivore and all. I don't know if I want to go through all that again, because I know how hard of a sacrifice it was for me to get where I'm currently at today. So I am really lean. I'm really lean. I'm 194. I'll probably do a 48-hour fast. Let's see. It's about 3:30 right now on a Friday. My last meal. Actually, not my last meal. My only meal that I had today was at 1 p.m. So I'll break the fast at 1 p.m. on Sunday. Now, I want to make something really clear about this, okay? You want to be careful about, binging, cheating a lot. This can create very unhealthy eating habits. Let me explain why. There are people that will do this. They'll binge and this and that, and they'll just say, you know what? All I got to do is it's kind of like what I'm doing, really. I'm just going to fast, or I'm going to get right back on the horse on Monday, and we're going to keep going, right? You can kind of develop an unhealthy relationship with food when you do that. Think about it, right? You eat something bad, you binge, and then you're just going to go all in and fast hardcore, right? So I'll be honest with you guys. I'm starting to discover this in myself, okay? I'm going to tell you, most YouTubers and influencers that you see online are not going to say this stuff, okay? These are secrets that a lot of influencers are probably not going to tell you, is that they themselves struggle with an emotional attachment to food, right? But they don't talk about it on their channel. You're not going to see what you're seeing on this video. You're not going to see them talk about this. But I want to be transparent with you. That is the whole point of creating this YouTube channel, is I wanted to be as authentic as possible and tell you, yes, I'm a coach. I've helped hundreds of men from all over the world. However, I'm a human being too. I make mistakes too. I have cravings just like everybody else. I have certain temptations that I fall into. And yeah, man, the struggle is real. I think men especially, we love food. We like to eat. And some of you who have an emotional attachment to food, it's even harder. I think this is why people struggle with obesity. Their lives are not where they want to be, so they use food as a way of medicating themselves, right? And I think there's times when I felt like that. Let's just be real. There's times where maybe you had a hard day at work, you're stressed, so what do? You go and eat something and enjoy yourself, right? It's normal. A lot of people do this. However, I want you and I to hold each other accountable, right? I'm going to start stepping on the scale again, guys, and filming it so you can actually see that I'm doing what I said I was going to do. Now, obviously, I'm not cheating every single day, but there was a few days this week that I had some of those Boulders chips that Costco has, which are absolutely amazing. There's only 3 ingredients, and I try to justify that in my mind. Well, it's not the processed stuff, right? At least the potato chips only have potatoes, salt, and avocado oil. It's actually healthier than the other type of chips that you get in the grocery store. So here I am trying to justify my poor eating, okay? And then I've had some chocolates, okay? They're only like 70 calories. So I'm kind of justifying, well, it's only 70 calories. It's not that bad. If I have a couple of them, that's only 140 calories. I'll just fit it into my macros, okay? Now, look, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with having a cheat here and there, having a little something here and there, but you know yourself better than I do. If it's something that you struggle with, okay, you may need to pull back on the reins a little bit, okay? Because like I said, 1 cheat meal becomes 2, then becomes 3, and before you know it, you're on an all-out, poor diet, and you're gaining all that weight back. So I'm kind of getting to the point where once you reach your goal, I think the best approach is just kind of do things in moderation. You know, if you want to have a little something, go ahead and have a little something, all right? But again, you know yourself better than I do. Maybe you can't do that. Maybe it's you can't have those foods in the house, so you have to get it out of the house. I kind of relate it to like a recovering alcoholic. Maybe you're a sugarholic, right? Well, would you tell a recovering alcoholic to like drink in moderation? No, you probably wouldn't. They would go right back to becoming an alcoholic, right? Same thing with a sugarholic. Maybe you got to get the sugar out of the house. Maybe for you, you can't eat sugar in moderation because you'll eat the whole darn bag, okay? There's been times where I've had chips and I'll eat the whole thing. Not this year, obviously, because I've lost a lot of weight. There's no way I could lose that kind of weight eating a whole bag of chips 2-3 times a week, all right? So I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update and kind of share with you where I'm at on this weight loss journey. And really, you got to make it a lifestyle. Now, I have made it a lifestyle as far as the gym. Like, I do not miss gym workouts since I was 24 years old. No, 25 is when I started. And I haven't missed, if I got sick or something, maybe I missed the gym. But I'm more consistent with my gym workouts and fasting than I am with actual eating the right foods. Now, I've been very consistent this year, obviously, but like I said, I'm confessing to you right now, I've had some cheats here and there. It was my birthday. I had to finish that cheesecake, which I had my last piece today. I'm glad it's gone. But no more of these like Boulders chips and like these chocolates. And gosh, I don't even know if I want to show you guys like the chocolate. Let me look. All right. Let's just be transparent here. Let me just show you this type of chocolates that I've had. Okay. So these are at Costco. They're basically like these coconut chocolate. They're not that bad. They're only like 70 calories, but like, yeah, man, this stuff is going to get you into trouble. All right. Another one is called, let's see, Skinny Dipped. Okay. And basically it's like a Reese's peanut butter cup, but it's dark chocolate and it doesn't have as many calories and sugars. These are 80 calories a piece. But yeah, guys, like you got to really know yourself. Okay. If you know yourself, and you know that you've got certain temptations you got to stay away from, then I would suggest like, hey, just, tighten up on it now. Get a hold of it now before it gets away from you, okay? So I just wanted to share that with you. I don't like to do a lot of these like polished videos, where they've got all the graphics and all. I just want to be real with you guys, right? So let me know, are you a type 1 or are you a type 2 person? I'd love to see the comments. And let's hold each other accountable, right? So if you like the video, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and always hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, I will see you then.